to Southeast Gassers. I'm your host, Mike Nartz. This series follows the Southeast Gassers Association Racing Series as it makes its way around the country. Get ready for some of the most exciting drag racing you've ever seen. This is an authentic drag racing revival. The first race of the year takes us to Ringgold, Georgia. Opened in 1957 and located just outside Knoxville, Tennessee, BMP, or Brainerd, is an 8th mile facility that is still going strong today. The anticipation is electric as our racers head out for their first qualifying round. Today's racing is simple, with each racer getting 2 qualifying passes, and those ETs set up the competition ladder. Gassers are old school drag racing, so there's no times displayed. First to the stripe wins. What is a gasser? Simply put, gassers are the original drag cars. They got the name gassers because instead of running nitromethane or alcohol to race, they actually used gas. Gassers are pretty unique with straight axles up front, ladder bar suspension, and loud straight pipes. They're easy to spot with super cool paint jobs from flat black to patriotic and everything in between. All of them have custom hand-painted lettering, and they do huge wheelies. Today we get started with the Superstock class. Superstock is essentially cars that you can drive to and from the racetrack. Let's listen in to David as he gives us a call for the race.
And Jerry Dean, by virtue of being the number 1 qualifier, he has a bye here because of the odd number of cars. So Jerry Dean gets a bye.
Oh, that pass wasn't real good. We went fast today, but the car spun leaving, and so I had to kind of pedal it a little bit. But we know what we did, so we'll fix it back.
Next 2 pair up going to be Alan Lovelady. He's going to be taking on Don Wilmot. Wilmot sticking it up in the air, way up. Has to grab another gear and get back in it. All right, Alan Lovelady getting his first round win at his first race he ever comes to. Good job, Alan Lovelady, as he moves on to round number 2. Zach Long out of Batesburg, Leesville, he's going to be not able to make the call right here, so Randy Kiefer in the Spine Tinglers and have a competition single. Wow. Dalton went in and double bulked him right there and may have thrown him off guard. Bryant Dalton Sr. going to take the win right there in a bit of an upset.
Okay, with round 1 of Superstock in the books, here are your results. Next up is C-Gas, and for those of you that are still learning the A, B, and C class differences, they are essentially weight per cubic inch. Okay, David, give us a call for this round of C-Gas.
First car around the corner for C-Gas is going to be Josh Pruitt in that Youngblood. He's the number 1 qualifier here today, and he will receive a bye run. Jared Perdue coming up next against Ernie Smith. Ernie Smith makes a hard move to the center, has to correct it. Does he have enough to drive by Perdue? Yes, he does. Ernie Smith getting a round win here, starting off 2024 in a good way. Man, them Mickey Thompsons is talking right there on the back of that 49 Studebaker truck. The under new management troublemaker driven by Billy Wilson. He's going to be taking on Arthur Russell in the Pink Panther. Arthur Russell in a bit of an upset right here of a 14 over a 5 takes out Bill Wilson right here in round number 1. This is going to be a competition single right here for Robbie Walden. Walden drives it through the big end and he'll move on to round number 2. Todd Oden's got a little bit of a trap right here because he's racing Larry Cummins. Cummins has had trouble today getting down the racetrack, but that car is no slouch. All right, Odin, first time he makes a run into 590.
It looked like one of the best passes we've ever made. I think it may be good enough for the record. That was a 599 with a 3. So I'm thinking with the backup run before that, that should be just right. So, but it was a great pass. The car ran good, smooth through all the gears. Old big girl laid down a sweet one.
In the mortgage options lane, that's going to be Brad Wimberly, the Southern Sizzler. He's going to be taking on the number 15 qualifier, Zach Hall out of Bluntville, Tennessee. Brad Wimberly takes the win right there. He'll move on to second round. Ben Shaw will be in the mortgage options lane. in the right-hand side in that odd rod. He'll be taking on the number 12 qualifier, Dan Hogan out of Atlanta, Georgia, in the flat-out Falcon. Good start for Dan Hogan right there. Helm's got to play some catch-up. Ben Shaw takes the win right there. All right, next up going to be the number 3 qualifier, Tim Hall. He's going to take on the number 16 qualifier out of Dalton, Georgia, B.B. Brown in that Deputy Dog. Tim Hall from beginning to end right there as he is in dominant fashion. Tim Hall dominates B.B. Brown right there and moves on to round number 2.
That's pretty good to run. We had a little problem. We broke the rear end on the first pass, changed the transmission, and changed carburetor just then. So that one moved in the right direction.
Alfred Adams, the number 8 qualifier, going to be in the mortgage options lane. Diana Castro will be in the quick time performance lane as she is the number 11 qualifier. Like Diana Castro stalls the car as she drops the clutch. And Alfred Adams going to move on to take on Tim Hall in the next round.
Here is your round 1 ladder for C-Gas racers. Now let's move on to the next faster class, the B-Gas class. David, what do you got?
Folks, this pair right here coming up is the most intriguing matchup that we've had. This is a matchup of our past 2 world champions. Our 2022 B-Gas world champion sits in the mortgage options lane on the right side. That's Colby Welch in the Moonbeam. Our 2023 champion, Ted McKee out of Lenoir City, Tennessee, he sits in our quick time performance lane on the left-hand side. Ted McKee is gone. He has beaten Colby Welch. No, Colby Welch drives by him in the most, holy cow, folks. We're talking 1/1000th of a second. Next pair out, that's going to be Charlie Lee, the Tennessee Charlie car. He's going to take on the number 14 qualifier, Kelvin Cannon, in a car called the Loose Cannon out of Elizabethton, Tennessee. I tell you what, Charlie Lee and his family have that car dialed in. It has went straight all day long. Next pair up, Bill Revel. He's out of Canton, North Carolina in the Black Betty, the 1963 Galaxy. He's going to be taking on Art Copeland. Art Copeland out of Buford, Georgia in that beautiful Barracuda that he calls Ain't Done Yet. All right, Art Copeland taking a win right there on that race. All right, next two pair around the corner. Going to be Enoch Dixon out of Athens, Tennessee, taking on Daniel Haynes in the Patriot out of Inman, South Carolina. Daniel Haynes, color him gone as that Patriot is streaking down the racetrack. Jimmy Huff not able to make the call right here, and Kevin Burt in the second coming. He's going to have a bye run down that quick time performance lane. Rick Varner, the number 3 qualifier, the Dirt Man out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. He's going to be taking on the number 16 qualifier, Jimmy Martin, in a car that he calls the Dick Digger. Rick Varner streaks on to the win right there. Puts Jimmy Martin on the trailer. The number 11 qualifier, Michael Oden, in the double down, the 21-year-old. He's going to be taking on Rod Bergner, the number 8 qualifier in the Iceman Cummins. Bakersville, North Carolina driver Bergner takes the win right there as we get ready for the next pair. Renegade, piloted by Ken Rainwater, and the Hillbilly Hoodlum of Greg Adams. Rainwater wheels up, leads right there for Rainwater. What a beautiful launch for that car. And he takes it on to the victory right here. Mike Blackwell, the number 7 qualifier out of Campobella, taking on the number 12 qualifier, Scott Butler in the Little Varmint. Mike Blackwell with a huge lead on the line. Mike Blackwell takes the win right there in convincing fashion.
B-Gas results are in, and this sets us up nicely for some A-Gas competition.
And Leslie Horn will have a competition single in first round right here.
Went out there, just made a good pass first round. I hate my competition broke. Chase Howard, which is always tough. I was able to move the record again. The record coming in was a 22 with a 6. I did go a 22 with a 4 that time. but I had won a 16 with a 1 in the second round of qualifying. But the way it works here, we got to be within 1%. So I'm going to have to run a 21 with a 2, I think, in order for me to get that. So hopefully I've still got 4 more rounds is the way I'm looking at it, because I'm going to win the race. So hopefully I'll have 4 more chances to try to set it.
Wayne Stott will have competition single. Gabriel Burrell, our defending world champion in the Southern Flyer. Ray Ballou from Calhoun, Georgia, going to be in that left-hand lane. Whoa, Gabriel Burrell! Man, what a job right there to push the clutch in, and he's still going to get to the finish line first. What a violent move. All right, third pair out. That's going to be the number 8 qualifier, Barry Lynn out of Greer, South Carolina. The Little Red Wagon, as he has affectionately called that car. And he gets the number 5 qualifier, Kenneth Phillips. Kenneth Phillips takes the win right there and moves on to round number 2. First pair out right here, the number 3 qualifier versus the number 10 qualifier. Doyle Lynn in the honky tonk. Todd Blackwell, the number 3 qualifier, going to be in the quick time performance lane over there in that slingshot. Todd Blackwell getting dangerously close to the left side, but he holds it in there and drives away from Doyle Lynn. Over in the mortgage options lane, you're going to have the number 9 qualifier out of Doraville, Georgia, Rob Walden in the strychnine. Ben Christopher sits in the quick time performance lane. Ben Christopher has to let the front wheels go down so he can grab another gear. And what a driving job! Ben Christopher handles that car with ease as he moves on to the win.
That's end of round 1 for our A-Gas, the fastest class on the property, and here's the ladder for them. No time to slow down now. Here is round 2 of SEGA.
Next up going to be the number 1 qualifier here today. Josh Pruitt going to be in the quick time performance lane over there in the left-hand side. He has really favored that lane today. He's going to be taking on Ernie Smith out of Spartanburg, South Carolina in the mortgage options lane. Josh Pruitt takes it down the racetrack for the win right there. Next pair right here is going to be Robbie Walden, the number 13 qualifier, going to be taking on Arthur Russell, the number 4 qualifier. The winner of this one is going to get the number 1 seed, Josh Pruitt. Good drag race right there. Arthur Russell getting the best of him, so the Pink Panther is going to move on to take on the Youngblood. Todd Oden right here, the number 2 qualifier, going to receive a bye run. The Birmingham, Alabama driver. Folks, this right here has the makings of a good drag race. Brad Wimberly in the Southern Sizzler, going to be taking on Ben Shaw, the number 7 qualifier right here today. And a good run right there by Wimberly. That may be his best ET of the day. Tim Hall in the Scalded Dog Rambler going to be in the mortgage options right-hand lane, taking on the Clover, South Carolina racer, Alfred Adams in the Dammit Bob, the 1955 Chevy. Oh man, a stall by Tim Hall. Oh my goodness, Alfred Adams going to score the upset right here. The Dammit Bob gets a huge victory.
There is a big brawl brewing in C-Gas. Here are your results from round 2. Now let's get some round 2 action from B-Gas class.
Art Copeland out of Buford, Georgia, going to be in the quick time performance lane, taking on Charlie Lee, Tennessee Charlie right there, who has really enjoyed staying in that right-hand lane today, but that car has gone straight every time I've seen it. Charlie Lee dead on that light. I'm telling you what, folks, if he takes it to the win.
Been pretty good that run. It went up 65. Yeah, we're just getting it broke in. It's new motors. It's out there.
Daniel Haynes backs off as Burton goes toward the center line, but the win is going to go to Kevin Burton.
It went pretty good. I won. That's a tough deal here. These are the greatest guys on earth when it comes to gas and racing.
Bakersville, North Carolina racer Bergner versus the Kannapolis, North Carolina racer in Varner right here. Oh man, Bergner all over the place. That's to think better of it.
Went good. Good run against Rod Bergner. He's a friend of mine. We had a pretty good run. I'm still behind a little bit, so we're going back just a little bit, see if we can get a little bit more out of it.
Okay, folks, Ken Rainwater has had a mechanical failure. So Mike Blackwell going to have a competition single right here.
Great competition in there, and here are your results for round 2. Back to our fastest class. Here is round 2 of A-Gas.
But what a matchup we have here of the previous owner and founder of the association versus the new owner and two-time world champion within the association. And to be honest with you guys, they're great friends on and off the racetrack, but they're ready to cut each other's throat right here on the starting line. And you're going to get a first-hand seat to see it. Wayne Scott makes a move toward the center line and has to back out of it, and Leslie Horn continues his march here today toward an A-Gas trophy.
Hey, we'll have one more round down. I think we got 1 or 2 more to go. We're just going to keep on plugging away. Whoever's next got their hands full.
Kenneth Phillips will get a competition single here into the next round.
It's going pretty good. We ain't as fast as we want to be, but we're going to stay in as long as we can.
Number 3 qualifier in the mortgage options lane, driving the slingshot, is going to be Todd Blackwell out of Campobello, South Carolina. He's going to be taking on Ben Christopher, the number 4 qualifier in that 1966 Chevy 2 called the Happy Days. Oh, Ben Christopher gets out of shape, has to turn it in, and Todd Blackwell is going to move on and take on Kenneth Phillips.
Man, A-Gas continues to dominate. Let's hear from David on the 3rd round of B-Gas and C-Gas.
Josh Pruitt going to go over here and race in the mortgage options lane. Art Russell's going to be in the quick time performance lane. Josh Pruitt loses a spring out of the rear of the car. Oh, goodness, Pruitt takes out Josh Pruitt. Oh, Josh Pruitt, I think he just kissed the wall. I can't see. A whole spring fell out of that car as he launched. Josh Pruitt has already told personnel that he is fine. What has been the secret today, and what have you found that you can tell everybody?
Well, we finally just got the engine where it's staying together, and once the engine stays together, the rest of the car is working great. We tried a few different things last year that probably were right on the cutting edge, and you have to do that in these classes because these cars are all so close in times and competitive that we're looking for every advantage we can. But I'm going to tell you right now, this One-Way Technologies crew up in Washington, Indiana, Jeff, Tyler, Daniel, Chris, that family is number 1, and I'm proud to run their engine.
Well, your car looks like it's been performing well, and I know Joey Reed has been really trying to adjust on that, get it square and straight so you can go down the racetrack, and I haven't seen you waver too much.
Not too bad today. We got over close to the wall in the left lane one time, but old big girl, she stays pretty true to course.
When she sits down that rear end on that wide load, she's pretty hard to beat.
She is. We love her.
All right, that's Todd Oden. He'll be coming up in C-Gas semifinals where he'll be taking on Brad Wimberly in the Southern Sizzle.
All right, so that was a tough road to hoe right there, man. Todd set the record today, and we've been tweaking on that Comet all day, making shock adjustments and all kind of stuff. Yeah, and it looks like it paid off, man. So we're moving on.
Here's the C-Gas ladder taking us into the semifinals.
Big matchup right here. Kobe Welch in the Moonbeam. He's going to be going and racing Charlie Lee. Good drag race right here, folks. Kobe Welch takes the win. Mike Blackwell is taking it straight, and Rick Varner has some problems.
And that's another great round for B-Gas, and it looks like Mike Blackwell in Thunderstruck gets a bye into the semis. Okay, we've made it this far. Let's see the semis in Superstock.
Going to have Randy Keeper in the Spine Tingler, the number 2 qualifier, taking on the number 6 qualifier in Brian Dalton Sr. That's going to be the first pair out right here. And Randy Keeper going to take the win right here, move into the finals of our Superstock.
It feels good. I needed a couple passes just to kind of get my nerves settled out, and that always happens. But yeah, I feel good. We put front shocks on it, back shocks, front springs, back springs. So we changed everything we could. And it seems to like it. So.
Next two around the corner are going to be Jerry Dean, our #1 qualifier. He's going to be in the mortgage options lane. In the quick time performance lane is going to be Alan Lovelady. Lovelady, he is out of Hayden, Alabama, part of that Alabama crew that we talk about. Winner of this one going to the finals to take on Randy Keeper right here. Alan Lovelady had a good showing for his first race, but that's not enough to stop Jerry Dean from making the finals.
It done good. Car actually made a good pass this time. Didn't make one worth flip a while ago. We made some changes and really helped it. Run a tough competitor in Alan Lovelady, and just glad to be moving on.
So it looks like it's going to be Jerry Dean and Randy Kiefer in the finals for Superstock. Now on to the next round of SEGAS.
We've just gotten word that Alfred Adams has had some difficulties and had a broken motor, or something has gone wrong in his car, so Brad Wimberly will actually have a competition single in the other semifinal. So that sets up Pruitt versus Wimberly in the finals for SEGAS here tonight. So we'll have Kevin Burt and Colby Welch coming up next in the semifinals of SEGAS. Kevin Burt goes to the wall. He's still in it, folks. Burt tries to bring it off the wall. Will it be enough? Colby Welch takes the win right there. Mike Blackwell with a bye run is built into the bracket right here, so he'll move on to the finals where he'll take on Colby Welch in our BGAS final.
Oh, it's a Moonbeam and Thunderstruck for BGAS dominance.
First race of the season went really good. I mean, I come down here a little bit down because it was raining Friday, so I thought, that's going to kill our attendance. Nobody's going to come out, but these people come and showed out. I was talking to a guy, 81 years old, to come here, and he said that they had to pick him up at Cabela's and bring him down here in a bus. They had a bus running back and forth. So, 3 hours ago, it was standing room only. Everybody was standing in line at the concession stands and the pizza place over there for 30, 45 minutes. It's really been great. The track's been great to work with. My staff I got in place, they've been good. No headaches, nothing has come my way. So I told them it was on them. We had a meeting a little earlier with employees, and when I got done with that meeting, I said, I'll see y'all at the banquet as y'all run it. So that's the way I'm going to do it. So I've got to buy into the semifinals. I'm going to outrun him for sure. I'm going to believe on him too. So I'll be going into the finals off of that buy. I still haven't backed up the 16 record yet. I have backed up 522 record. So the air's getting cooler. It's going to probably make a little more power, but the track's also getting cooler.
Next up, going to be Todd Blackwell out of Campobella, South Carolina. In the slingshot, he's going to be taking on Kenneth Phillips. Oh, Blackwell stumbles on the line, and that's all it needs is a silver streak is into the night.
And here's your AGAS semifinals. So it's Leslie Horn against Kenneth Phillips.
And here comes that noticeable light on top of that Pontiac right there of the beautiful Superstock car of Randy Kiefer. Kiefer going to be in the quick time performance lane. Jerry Dean going to be in the mortgage options lane. Jerry Dean has had that car on a rail all day long. Good lead by both cars. This is a good drag race. And Jerry Dean takes the win right there. Man, by the narrowest of margins as well. Jerry Dean picks up the win.
Today was an up and down day for us. We made some good runs and we made some terrible runs, but worked out for us and we got where we needed to be. The track was hard to judge on the other end, and that run, the last run there, about 300 foot, we skated around big time and nearly lifted, but we hung on. But it was a good day for us, and we learned a lot. No, I don't know of anything we would change. We're going to work on some things for slick racetracks, and we'll have to do some testing. Sure will. And I got a good crew: Karen Mitchell, Dennis Mitchell, David Richardson, David Dean, and Buck Rogers. They do a lot. I'm just lucky enough to get to drive.
Josh Pruitt being brought back by his aunt Debbie Ison. Brad Wimberly out of Atlanta, Georgia, getting up to the line, getting set. Good lead by both drivers. They drive off into the darkness. Who's it going to be? Josh Pruitt for the win.
Oh, what a day.
we started out all day, you know, we was fighting. It was wanting to go left, right. Well, we got number one qualifier, and then we had our accident there, you know, went hard left, and then had all our problems. The coil came out, the hind joint, it broke, and I didn't know what's happened. So I was still trying to bank some gears, get a win somehow. And, you know, we hit the wall, found out the other car was disqualified. So we thrashed on it, got it back together. It ran straight, and we made it to the winner's circle.
Toby Welch going to be taking on Mike Blackwell out of Campobello, South Carolina, in that beautiful Thunderstruck Thunderbird. A couple of Fords up here on the line, folks. A little bit of a starting line advantage to Mike Blackwell. Is that going to be enough? Toby Welch takes the win.
It started off real strong. I mean, we took it off the trailer, made a good qualifying pass. There was a little bit of concern as we just made some big changes and didn't get time to get that testing together. But off the trailer, it made a good pass. We kept it consistent all day, made some small changes, and I mean, it came together and we got the win.
And the last two of the night right here, our final two warriors, the kings of the sport right here in the Southeast Gassers, our A-Gas competition. It is number one qualifier Leslie Horn in the Chick Magnet, the 1955 Chevy with Gene Fulton horsepower underneath the hood, taking on Kenneth Phillips in the Silver Streak 2, the 1958 Corvette. We've seen every winner in our finals tonight come out of the right-hand lane. So Horn, thinking that might hold something to it, is going to stick there himself.
Day was good. Turned out pretty good. We didn't know how it was going to turn out, but it did. It turned out real good. We just kind of kept working on it, and then when it come down to Leslie, that was it. That was what we was kind of didn't know how that was going to turn out.
That's it for Race 1 of the Southeast Gassers Association. We look forward to bringing you more exciting content from Shadyside Raceway, which is Race 2 on their circuit. For Powertube TV, I'm Mike Narks. We'll see you guys soon.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free Powertube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.